This video is made possible by my patrons on Patreon. Hello everyone, my name is Ziamaro and welcome to Battle Sage. Today we're getting back to another comp spotlight, and this time we're looking at one that I have a reasonable amount of experience with in organised play, and that comp is Ashka and Bakko. This one is a lot easier to get your head around than any other comp we've discussed so far. Some of the comps we've looked at are based around synergies between buffs and debuffs, or something else that might not be visually obvious. With Bakko and Ashka, it's really quite straightforward. This comp is all about wombo combos and zoning. And actually, the game you're watching right now is an interesting one because it's Ashka and Bakko into the comp we talked about last week, Battleship comp. It's a really great display of skill and shows how much you can dominate Battleship comp when you know what you're doing. So what is it that makes Ashka and Bakko work so well together? First off, you have a decent amount of projectile control through Bakko's Bulwark and Ashka's Firewall. Ashka is a champion who, when left alone, can pump out some insane damage, and Bakko can do a pretty good job of keeping enemies off him. He can physically peel people using his space or E, he can give his team a pretty hefty shield with his R, and he can body block and apply weaken with his Q. And don't forget, most Bakkos will take bravery in 3v3, so he can also give his team some damage reduction. All in all, Bakko is a pretty strong melee when it comes to protecting his team, but in that sense he can work quite well with any ranged champion who needs peels. And also, why would you pick him over Thorn? After all, Thorn is very good at peeling as well. Well, the reason you take Bakko is the AoE incap, of course. This is such a strong combo that it's really hard not to tunnel vision doing it when you play the comp. If Bakko manages to get an incap on one or more people with his shift space, Ashka can get some very meaty damage combos off. If nothing else, he can get a Volcano stun off. And of course, just like the incap, Volcano is an AoE ability. So while there are other champions who can combo with Bakko's incaps, nothing synergizes quite as well as Ashka's Volcano. Essentially, if you get an incap off, Ashka can get a solid 40 damage on each target just from the Volcano stun. Those numbers are if you take the Inferno and Magma rights. Because of the stun, it can be easy enough to throw in a mouse 1 or mouse 2 as well. On top of that, Bakko can quite easily use his E ability to add an additional stun to the end if the target is near a wall. And if that weren't enough, if Ashka has his ultimate ready, well, you know where this is going. As I said, you've got to be careful not to tunnel vision doing this combo, but the Bakko should constantly be looking for opportunities to incap, and Ashka should be ready to follow up on it. Like I said, it's not the most difficult comp to get your head around, but which support should you run? There are a bunch of options that can work depending on your situation. If you want to go for balls to the wall damage, you can play Older with this comp. Now, every time Bakko incaps, you're pretty much guaranteed Older's damage combo as well. If the stars align, you can win a game with just one well-placed incap. You are, however, lacking some sustain with this comp. It's very all-in for the wombo combo. Don't get me wrong, it has some other synergies like adding another reflect shield with Older's EXQ, so it makes for a great anti-range comp. Another great support for this comp is Pestilus. He offers a lot of extra burst damage, and unlike Older, he can do a lot more to protect his team from bursts. If one of your allies gets stuck in a big ultimate with no escapes, you can infest them and reduce a hell of a lot of the damage. He's also very good at creating space and zoning with his constant panics. Even if he doesn't catch people with the panics, he can force iframes, which makes it much easier for Bakko to land a good incap. I would say he's definitely a top pick for this comp. Another option is Paloma. Paloma allows Bakko to go for some risky plays, knowing that he can always get back out again. Every time Bakko shifts spaces at the enemy for an incap, he's burning his only iframe. If the enemy is prepared for it, they can really punish Bakko after he jumps. And that's where Paloma's other side comes in. If they try to punish Bakko, Paloma has his back. Xander can work for the same reason, but he also offers his damage amp to the wombo combos, so that can be really fun. And as you can see in the footage, Blossom also works well. She offers massive sustained healing, an extra weaken, and another AoE stun with her E. Honestly, because the synergies are mostly between Ashka and Bakko, they don't really require a specific support. Depending on the situation, you could probably justify any of the supports. So just pick the support based on what you can play, or if you can play multiple, see what the enemy picks. All in all, I would say this is one of the more simple comps we've looked at. As long as you have at least a small amount of coordination, I would highly recommend trying this out with some friends. It's not always easy to get the beefy combos off, but when you do, it's very satisfying. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please feel free to subscribe for more Battle guides, news, and discussion. If you'd like to help support the channel and get some unique rewards, then head over to patreon.com/BattleRightSage. And don't forget to check out twitch.tv/BattleRightSage. Until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.